What do you do when you've been married for 10, 20, or 30 years and your marriage has stagnated?
You know, you don't feel like you have anything in common beyond the kids. You're not having fun together anymore, and maybe you're even bored with each other. What do you do when this happens?
Well, in this video, we're going to tell you exactly what we've done when we found ourselves in this boat, and give you a powerful tool that you can use immediately to rejuicify your relationship and crank the passion back up.
And by the way, this happens to everyone, so don't think for a second that it's time to move on. The "we don't have fun together" or "we're leading separate lives" syndromes happens for one reason and one reason only, and that's because you stop bringing intention to the relationship. And that, my friends, is a really easy fix.
So we like to say that couples just don't grow apart, but rather they don't grow apart. What that means is that it's not so much that you grew apart, but it's that you just haven't been growing together. And growing together just requires some intention and collaboration. But to truly collaborate often requires personal growth, which means that you might have to step out of your comfort zone a bit. It might mean that you have to let go your selfishness and love each other a little more unconditionally. It might mean that you have to explore new frontiers of your human potential. And maybe, just maybe, this is why we haven't been doing it all along, right? But that's why we're in marriage. It's the most perfect environment for personal development. And if you give up on marriage, you're really just giving up on yourself.
So what does collaboration look like in marriage? Collaboration is setting goals that you mutually benefit from the accomplishment of. Collaboration is supporting each other in the development of our individual talents and the realization of our life purposes. Collaboration is going to a marriage retreat or a tantra workshop together so that you can expand your relationship horizons.
Collaboration is going to personal development workshops or seminars together so that you're both on the same page on things that matter.
And when you do this, you're able to write the next chapter of your life together using paradigms that you share.
Collaboration is taking up a new sport or a hobby together where you both have similar goals and the same frame of reference.
Collaboration is reading an inspirational book together that inspires enjoyable discussions. Collaboration is coming up with solutions to stalemates by each of you being willing to step into the other's world just a little farther because it's important to them. Wouldn't it be fair to say that when we said our vows that it was implied that we would collaborate on our life together? I mean, of course it was. That's what marriage is, a big collaboration. Collaboration is choosing to work on your marriage together. It's choosing to exercise together, learn a new skill together, pray together, meditate together, plan a romantic getaway together, or even work on your garden together. People only grow apart when they stop growing together. Does that make sense? Growing apart happens when you stop being conscious in your marriage. The moment one or both of you start being conscious again, you will start gravitating back together.
You know, there was a time in my life when I was obsessed with golf. Now that's long since passed, but at the time I would play in the dark, even in the snow, just to get a few holes in.
I would play with Tad once in a while because I knew he loved it so much and I wanted to spend time with him. But I didn't love it at all. In fact, I didn't even like it. It was actually painful for me because I hit the ground a lot with my club and the ball just dribbled down the fairway.
But then one day, Kimberly demonstrated an amazing act of love and collaboration. Because she knew I loved golf so much, and because she wanted to be a part of something that was important to me, she signed us up for a 3-day golf clinic at a top 100 golf school.
3 days later, I'm hitting the ball solid, hitting it long and enjoying golf at a whole new level.
She did that for me. I mean...
When we went on to enter recreational golf tournaments together, and believe it or not, I really love golf, maybe even a little bit more than my husband. It's amazing what can happen when you step outside your comfort zone and do something for your mate for the love of your mate. It promotes personal growth and it bonds you to a whole new level and fuels the polarity between you like crazy.
But it took me another 20 years to do that thing for Kimberly that I knew would light her up like a Christmas tree. And the fact that I didn't support her in doing something that she loves so much, as her husband, as the man who's supposed to be totally in love with her, I mean, it was really sorrowful, pathetic. But I had my reasons. I mean, they were legitimate reasons. Kimberly wanted to dance with me. She loved to dance, but I hated dancing. I didn't like it. But that was because I felt like a fool when I was out on the dance floor, and it was kind of against the religion I had growing up. I just had a negative association with it. But then one day,
Her daughter decides she wants to take up ballroom dancing. Her request reminded me of how many weddings we attended over the past 35 years and how many times I danced in my seat to the beat of the music, longing to be on the dance floor with my husband. Sometimes on these special occasions, he would indulge me with a dance or two after 2 or 3 glasses of wine, waiting for a crowded dance floor in a slow song, then making his way to a dark corner of the room where he would sway me back and forth. On occasion, he'd take me with line dancing and say, "Hey baby, you dance and I'll watch." This isn't what I wanted. I desired to be led, twirled, and dipped. So when our daughter wanted to take ballroom dancing, I said, "Hey babe, how about a few private lessons?" And out of his great desire to please me and be congruent with what we teach, he agreed. This one act of love was a major turning point for both of us. It not only added to our repertoire of enjoyable things we could do together, it became a highlight of the following 24 months. We attended dance galas, participated in choreographed dances, and even became inspiration for our friends to take dance lessons. Tad's newfound ability has even inspired people we didn't even know to get out of their seats and dance with their brides. Earlier this year, I attended a special event at Maggiano's Italian restaurant featuring live music from the Sinatra era. While the audience enjoyed the music, my husband stood up in front of a crowded room of round tables, grabbed my hand, and led me to the middle of the room. With no dance floor and no one else dancing, he made his way to a small area among the tables and began to Roomba. Then suddenly, other men stood up and invited their ladies to dance. Wow, I thought, how incredible is this? My husband is inspiring other men to create an unforgettable moment for their women. Since that time, we've enjoyed many events, dancing together, and often solo with no one else on the floor. I adore my husband at a whole new level for his willingness to take a plunge into my pool of desire. I found his ability to lead, twirl, and dip me a real turn on, and it's even become my favorite form of foreplay.
When marimba rhythms start to play, other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you.
and this, ladies and gentlemen, I did after being married for 33 years. I mean, it's really been amazing, and it's added multiple layers of dimension to our relationship. And I'll tell you what, to you guys and gals out there, to quote Rocky from Rocky IV, if I can change and you can change, everybody can change. So let's wrap this up. If you want to bring juice back into your relationship and kick the energy to a new level, or if you want to reconnect with your mate and start feeling like you're on the same team again, here's what you want to do. You, and this works the best if you both do this, but because you're the only person that has control over you, you're going to think of something that is really important to your mate that you haven't been very supportive of. Or something that, you know, your mate has wanted to do forever, that you haven't participated with them in, and you haven't supported them in doing this thing. And you're going to turn over a new leaf, and you're going to go all in, and you're going to support them by being involved in this thing like you never have before. Maybe even orchestrating this event to happen. Maybe being involved with them at a level that you never have.
Maybe your mate has wanted to dance with you their whole life and you've been a party pooper. Maybe your mate loves travel but you don't, so they has to travel with a friend instead of you. Maybe they've wanted to go bicycle riding and you don't because you're not very coordinated. Or maybe your mate has wanted to expand your sexual repertoire forever but you felt uncomfortable for whatever reason. And it's become a source of tension and maybe even the cause of diminished sexual intimacy and fulfillment. Maybe your mate loves going to personal development retreats, but you've never shared the enthusiasm. Or maybe it's been something as simple as providing your mate a safe space to communicate their feelings without feeling judged or criticized. These are just examples of things that we can do or not do that create separation or an uncomfortable space.
So there are two big takeaways that we want you to get from this. First, when you don't collaborate on your marriage and your life together, then the marriage that you get is unpredictable and it's subject to your environment. In other words, you're like a ship on the ocean with no destination or no plan on how to get where you're going. You're just adrift and you're subject to the currents and the storms of life.
Collaboration means bringing intention to your relationship by talking, setting goals together, creating a vision for your life together, making plans together, and doing activities that get you on the same page.
The second takeaway we want you to get is that the fastest way that you can close the space between you, that you might feel between you and your mate, and start feeling connected and alive is to identify the number one most important thing to your mate that meets their highest value. That thing that they've wanted, always wanted from you most, that you've denied them the longest. And then you're going to go all in providing that to them. Now we guarantee that this can revive the love, the connection, and even the passion in a marriage because it signals to your mate that, wow, maybe you do care. Maybe you have been paying attention. Maybe you're not as selfish as they thought you were. And maybe there is hope after all. And I think we'll leave you with that. So thanks for being here, and just remember.
When your marriage is great, life is great. See you next time.
See you next time.